Good morning. Good morning, Rocket. Good morning, Leroy. Good morning, everybody. So today what I'm going to talk about is teardown of the controller for the HP VR headset. This is so these are the WMR. I guess they're, what people call them and what they actually are. I'm new enough to this to not be quite sure, but this is the, I guess, version 2 WMR controller. So basically, you got two buttons, a thumbstick. There's no touchpad, like the Vive has and some of the other controllers have. So the issue I was having was one of the controllers would just basically, the lights would just flash and it would just buzz, but not like the battery dead. If it's battery dead, it like flashes 3 times or buzzes 3 times, excuse me, and turns off. This would just buzz constantly, so it'd just like buzz, 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 and the lights would flash. So I didn't know what was wrong, and because of COVID, and because of, I can get into this later, but HP's sort of tepid amount of enthusiasm for the VR market. I mean, their headset's great, but I couldn't find any sort of support on what that particular issue was. I couldn't call HP support because of COVID. No one was at work, which I can't blame HP for. But so I decided to fix it on my own, and of course did not. But if anything, this kind of gives you this is a post teardown, I guess I'll call it. This is a disassembly view, if you want to call it that. Of the controller, for those of you who maybe are a little bit smarter than I am, and maybe have had the issue and have isolated it, but don't know how to kind of get to where you want to get to. So this is the controller assembled. This is it disassembled. So basically, you can imagine that this is on here. When you take the cover off, the battery cover comes off, sort of, right? And then there's screws underneath. So these screws come off. And then you can get to here. So then this can come open, and there's a ribbon, which you see back here. So this ribbon and this little connector connects to this. So you'll be at this point where you'll get this open and the ribbon connects. So there's the 2 battery terminals. I had poor connection, so I tried to resolder them, but again, kind of bodged it. And then this board can come out. So if you could isolate the defective board, this board can come out. These are just little screws, right? And then from there, you kind of get to this position, right? So that will be attached like so. And so you can get to here typically pretty quickly. And then the issue is basically getting from there to here. So the big thing, you can see all the connectors here, little buttons. The big thing is that I thought you had to kind of I thought this whole section came off, and I couldn't quite figure out where the division was. But actually this plate right here, let's see if I get it off again, is just stuck. So to get this off, or the handle off, basically there's screws in here. This is just taped, and I did not want to pull on it. On other controllers, this pulled off when there was a screw underneath, but this plate just comes off, and then your buttons are underneath, and then your board's underneath there. So that's sort of the big thing I could tell people is this does come off. You just need to basically just pry it off. It's just 2-sided tape. Again, if you want to take this apart. Now, that being said, I looked very quickly. There's no parts available. I could not order a replacement controller from HP. I had to go to eBay and try to find one. The amount I paid for it is regrettable, I suppose I would call it. HP, at least Canada, does not have replacement controllers available. So this is my sort of call out to HP. Listen, you guys are selling the headset and you're selling the full kit, but you got to be selling the controllers. especially given the issues that some people are having with them. In hindsight, I would have probably ordered um, the valve controllers and the base stations, even though it might have been more money. It's probably a better return on investment. Um, I find the controllers work fine. Some people don't like the WMR controllers because of the inside-out tracking, but for what I've played with it, I haven't had any real issues. Like, yeah, it doesn't read the controllers; you put them behind your back, but you shouldn't be putting your hands behind your back is probably not, it's so much of an edge case that you're probably fine. I guess one other note here is like, what do you need to tear this down? Here's my little the one thing you learn when you take things apart, you have a little Ziploc bag full of screws, is you really just need some good screwdrivers, and you really just need good slotted screwdrivers. Some of the screws, I'm not going to, I might be able to get it, but some of the screws are, the star heads are like big enough for, I guess, Phillips technically. You can get some of them, but some of them are quite tiny. They're all Phillips screws, but some of them are very tiny. So a really good sort of like just standard screwdriver with the head small enough, I found that worked better because I have a decent pair of like slotted screwdrivers that I've had since I was like 10. But the ones the Amazon ones that have like the cheap soft metal, you're not going to get these out. You're just gonna turn you'll damage the screwdriver. So. Anyways, so that's my takedown. So basically, there's a couple screws you can get. The plate, the power, and this sort of like board will come out. If you undo these ribbon cables, you can get to here. If you want to take the handle off, this pops off, and then you can go from there. And that's that. So again, I wish I had taken a video of the actual error before I tried to fix it, so you guys can have a look at that. But that's my sort of teardown for a WMR controller, and thanks for hanging out. If you want to catch me, I'll be streaming. Now that I have another controller working, I'll be streaming Into the Radius today, or not today. I guess Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. So I'm going to get back into that game. There's been a couple updates, so check us out on Twitch. I'll put links in the description. So thanks for hanging out. Talk to you later.